A faux sunset displayed upon the deathbed, I guess, of a bandaged, burned, limbless person. I can already tell this is gonna be something else. Hello everyone, and welcome to Mouthwashing, a surreal psychological horror game following the crew of a doomed ship on a space expedition where, well, as the menu shows, death may be the best possible outcome. Let's check it out. Oh, and a big thank you to the developers for providing me with a key for this game. Pony Express Long Haul, Space Freighter, Tolpar. Crew, 5. Planned shipment duration, 382 days. Elapsed transit time, 147 days. I hope this hurts. Zero days before the crash. An orbital body has been detected 21 AU ahead of the vessel. Please make a manual correction 1.4 degrees leftwards to avoid impact with unknown mass. So right away, we're including a deranged sentiment alongside something as mundane as a shipping schedule. Clearly all is not well aboard this ship. Steer right. Didn't we need 1.4 degrees leftwards? We can click the big red button as well. We can't touch the other panel though. Alright, steer right. Extreme warning. Direct collision course with orbital body 1.9 AU away. Engaging autopilot to recorrect vessel. Advise crew to take up emergency positions. 4,000 credits docked from crew pay package for failure of navigational staff. This is clearly quite deliberate. We can right-click to get up and look around. Open the utility closet. That looks like a generator. Pony Express employee card, Anya. Is that us right now? And emergency key. Maybe we can use that to open this thing, avert disaster? With tab, captain only, emergency cockpit console override key. Yes, do it. To override the safeties that would have steered us out of this, we have to try I hope this hurts. Disengage autopilot. Let's find out if we have to first. I don't know to what extent choices will matter. I can't let anyone in. There's nothing else to be done. So we give in to some kind of madness, some kind of space despair, and we're about to make it everybody else's problem. Okay. Crash imminent. The alarms can't even be heard outside the room. Do the others, do they even know? Polly says, rise and shine. Even from the menu, it's all about the contrast between the optimistic and the reality. Polly says, lend a hand. You know, the amount of motivational posters per square inch in here is more than you would expect, although I'm not sure what I'd expect. Polly says, giddy up, Galaxy. God, the silence is awful. Although it's a little less silent now. I'm beginning to think this isn't the actual layout of the craft. Maybe all this positivity finally got to me. It's stuck. Back the other way then. Starting to hear a whine from the pipes, like loose bolts or something. But it also sounds just a little bit like a baby crying. Don't be daft. This place is falling apart even before impact. It's like there's something groaning, screaming in my ear just behind my head. Two months after the crash, Jimmy says, anyone else would do the same thing. Swansea says, we ain't touching the cargo. The hold is locked down for a reason. The only thing worse than dying slowly is not getting paid. Anya says, but it could be something useful. I think. Could be what? Hope streams and marzipan? Ha. You don't have to. If it helps us survive, it's worth it. So I guess we're Jimmy. It's almost like returning to simpler times. We're sitting here in this cafe, the sun outside for half a second. I thought it was going to be before. But it's just more of that false positivity. Daisuke. Man, Pony Express bosses really aren't chill at all, huh? Come on. A quick look won't hurt. How exactly is this group therapy committee planning on getting in there? Oh, right here, boss. You're looking at the meanest swing of the regional junior baseball team. Straight up nearly corked a kid once. Wow, even the text is emphasizing how hard it was. I can take the utility axe and... You were born fully corked. That's enough, Swansea. There has to be an in case of emergency way inside. And if I remember correctly from the safety protocols, the doors should have an alternate access code, but it can only be uncovered using a code scanner device. And only the captain has access to the scanner. Of course. Go ahead and ask him all about it then. Maybe he'll sing you the blues, too. We don't need him if we can find the scanner, get the code, and open the hold. For better or worse, I'm captain now. I'll figure it out. Right on. So, post-impact, we've had a lot of time to think about this. It's not a space madness that took hold of the crew. We, in fact, were thrust into this situation by one crazy captain who went right over everybody's heads. Decided on one last spiteful act. My question is, why? Teamwork is the soul of success. When you've completed your tasks, always check on other tasks. You know, I feel like that's me during the month of October. HR complaints about poor team synergy may result in collective punishment. So we've got a real darkly humorous thing going on here, I see. Emphasis on the dark. Polly says, rise and shine. Sleep is the best rest after a long day of work. Earn that rest. Don't overdo it, or fall behind. Do not indulge in over 5 hours of rest. Giddy up, Galaxy. Punctual delivery is our pride and promise, no matter where you are. Late deliveries will be docked from personal credits. I don't think the captain was too concerned about having his pay docked in the end. Don't be daft. Proper preparation prevents accidents. It is your responsibility to keep yourself and the crew safe. Medical expenses will be docked from personal credits. Now, what is this foam that's all over the place? Is that for show, or is that actually something? Maybe things that burst from the pipes, or some kind of sealant used to keep the hull integrity? Papa Poli's Delights for the long haul. You can actually have a look at all of this. Restricted item, Captain Access only. Acquire the following ingredients from the nutrition pouch dispenser. Sweetener. To be used only for crew morale boosting activities. Celebration prohibited in case of mediocre performance. It'd be funny if it weren't for the situation we're in. Still, 2 months. 2 additional months, that's another 60 days or so. Now, we still wouldn't have been at our destination, but now we made no progress at all, presumably. I wonder if we're still on the body that we crashed into? Looks like it'll be soup again for dinner. You want to rock, paper, scissors for the chicken noodle? How much food do we have left? I'd say like 4 months-ish. Less than the remaining air supply, but we can make it last. In theory. We'll be starting to poke new holes in our belts pretty soon to pull that off. Man, my mom will straight up stuff me when I get back. I'll look like Swansea. We'll have a rad story to tell, though. They might even write articles about us. We could be on TV. You're already talking like we're out of here when it's far from a certain thing. And you're picking up on our lack of optimism. It'll impress the ladies, too. Hell yeah. The real problem is us running out of toilet paper. Fatal stuff, man. We should leave that part out for the press. Yeah. They're trying to keep our spirits up. The tone of the dialogue almost makes it feel like it's leaning into comedy, but you can't escape the fact that they know how bad this is. Yeah, this stuff is everywhere. Medical room. Is that our captain? What remains of him? These are all we have left. Let's leave the painkillers. We don't need them right now. He doesn't want to keep still anymore. What about the painkillers? It just hurts him so much. I can't stand the noise. You did make it through nursing school, right? Pony Express sure does know how to cut corners, if nothing else. Why are we being this mean? I was thinking. We never went back into the cockpit after we dragged him out. It's almost entirely foamed up. Kind of a miracle Curly didn't end up fossilized. But it could still be unstable. I just think, well, it's the only place the code scanner could still be. Otherwise, we're out of luck. I'll take a look. I know you'll figure it out, Jimmy. You're so capable. Oh, also, well, I was hoping you could help me with Captain Curly. Right, sorry. With Curly's medication? People have to be worth their titles. Don't you think, Nurse Anya? Yeah. Forget I asked. I'll take care of it. None of this is your fault. This is all his. Why are we even bothering with painkillers? You tried to kill us. Why are we not shooting you out the airlock? The fact that she's even bothered to care for this for 2 months, like, she deserves better. This vent has been busted forever, at least according to Swansea. Probably beyond wrecked now. Well, in a pinch, it may be necessary to utilize it. Can't close your eyes, can ya? No eyelids, no lips. Can't talk either, huh? Well, let's take some. $10 milligrams oxycodone, extended release capsules. The good stuff. Hold still, yeah? I don't like this any more than you do. You know what they say. Pain is how we know we're still living. I'm glad someone at least has the proper contempt for him. I can't bear to listen. Excuse me, sorry. Well, it hurt. You got what you wanted, and it's gonna continue to hurt. Part of me isn't sure whether we should just kill him and not use the resources, not give him the satisfaction if this is what he wants. Part of me wants to see him survive what he might not have been intended to. Anya? We don't have a whole lot of painkillers left. But you still want to keep... Why do you think he did it? Does it matter? What answer would make you feel any better? I have to believe that our worst moments don't make us monsters, Jim. I have to. Even in his case. He tried to take us all down with him, Anya. The way I see it, there's 2 reasons to keep him alive at this point. Guess the important bit is that we all agreed to it. For one reason or another. I'm still feeling nauseous. I need a minute. So we did all agree. It seems that I and this character actually map quite neatly onto each other. That's good. Means we'll have the perfect mindset to go into this with. Okay, let's see everyone else then. I also love how you didn't have to say it for us to know exactly what you were talking about. It's always very important for a game with a cast of characters to establish what they're all about very concisely and quickly. You moved down here. Thank you for helping with Curly. Did you find the code scanner? I hope it's still there. The cockpit is covered in foam. No, not quite yet. So 2 months and we haven't tried that? Well, the bowels of this ship really are actually kind of tough to navigate, but at least we've got some signs on the wall that let us know. Ain't you supposed to be figuring out our great cargo robbery? Why are you standing out here? None of your business. Everything is my business now. Because of Curly. I don't want to keep having this conversation. Right, Capitano. I'm working. Blue-collar fools can't afford to stop working, even when the machine does. Go figure. And before you start, I'm taking a break. Don't you worry. I ain't going over my break time allowance. Ha. Working on what? How does it look in there? It's a solid wall of foam. I'm trying to see if I can break it down enough to get something useful out. Any of my tools. But if I breach that foam and break the air seal, it's lights out for all of us. I ain't letting anyone else mess around in there. Even Daisuke? He's your intern. He's supposed to be helpful. You think I'm letting that knucklehead in here after the crash roughed it up? Our so-called nurse nearly skewered her leg when the vent hatch was open during maintenance. And that was before the crash. I warned her, but it's in one ear and out the other. Then there's that teeny bopper thinking only with his downstairs long nose. You are just full of euphemisms, aren't you? Just like my useless kids back home. So no, ain't letting anyone mess around in here. Alright, Swansea. Keep me updated. Well, that explains why we're not able to get through this stuff. You don't even have your tools. But we'll keep looking around. There's more to see still. I can hear the sound of dripping water somewhere. Is that not a good thing? God, it's like being trapped in a mine, even if it is the furthest possible thing. Nothing through here. And back around to here. Hey, has Swansea been like this towards you for your whole internship? That's just how he is, man. Didn't want a spud like me following him around for an entire year. And this isn't really the internship experience anyone had in mind. Don't let him push you around too much. His bark is worse than his bite. He may be cranky, but he is legit a wizard of a mechanic. I was like, you rock! So this is what years and years and years and years of experience looks like? Basically calling him ancient in the process. I'm sure he appreciated that. You've got your faux sunset and your music, and unable to do anything about it. Half the crew agreed you deserved a fate worse than death, and that brings me satisfaction. Maybe we could do something with this? I mean, it would suck, but could we maybe get in through the vents? Entry strictly prohibited to unauthorized personnel. Captain has been equipped with a standard issue code scanner to unlock the door in case of emergency. Damage sustained to cargo will be deducted from crew pay, unnecessary trespass will be deducted, accidental door breach, and loss of code scanner. Hardly matters now, does it? But I just realized we can right-click to zoom in. Alright, how are we going about this then? Because I am swift running out of ideas. Didn't expect this to open. So we do have access, it's just totally covered. We can still open the utility closet. We can't get the rope. This should be useful if the main power shuts down. We'll remember that the generator is here then. Nothing here. The captain's key is probably still lodged underneath all of this. There's the code scanner. Wait, we seriously... I had thought we were going to need a whole process. We really just never came in here. Well, here we go. 2 months. You guys really wasted 2 months. Look, these warning screens still blinking and malfunction just the way they did on the day of the crash. We're practically parasites living inside our own ghost. Alright, Anya. What can we do with this? What do you guys think we've been shipping? If it's spare parts, maybe me and Swansea can repair the ship and we can get out of here. Right, Swansea? Quit yapping. Well, get on with it. This is all you. I want it duly noted that I had no involvement in this. You're still worried about getting your pay docked. Are we doing the right thing? Let it be medicine, food, or water. Let's hope. Four, 5, 1, 7. That is so cool. And maybe we can look in other places as well? Alright. There we go. Seven days before the crash. Oh, we're going to be skipping our perspectives around. Are you listening? Yeah. God, I'm so sorry. Couldn't sleep again. But I passed the psych eval? Well, you gave the same answers as last time. I do wish you'd open up a little more, Captain. These evaluations aren't just about you. As long as I'm fit to fly in your eyes, Anya. Oh, stop it. Guess that means I only have one more eval left to do. Jimmy. He acts as if I do these things for fun. Then I have to make a report with things like, I have found myself sexually excited at the sight of cartoon horses. Well, I could take it off your hands. Really? I've known him a long time. He won't try any nonsense with me. I suppose you are the captain. I am the captain. Thank you. What a relief. Oh, before I forget, Swansea asked me to give you this. They can't expect me to perform miracles. All scrawled over a to-do list. I'm not sure what it means, but sounds like fun. Good luck, Captain. So it seems like prior to the crash, even as little as a week prior to, we had a pretty good relationship with Anya. Now maybe we should wonder if that really was us on the bridge. Having a conversation in a room that we had no idea would become our prison. Okay, let's head out then. God, it looks and feels so different, so much brighter. We've just been sitting in the glow of the emergency lights for months. The space before it was all covered in foam. You know, it's a really interesting choice to see this place at its worst and then have us experience it as it's meant to be. Well, let's find Jimmy. With this perspective shifting, I wonder if we're always going to be Jimmy, or if it's going to be moving around more than that. Okay, we can't go to our quarters. Let's go see what Swansea's up to. Clearly there was some kind of problem down here. Jimmy. And Pony Express said they don't provide onboard entertainment. Feels like there's always something broken in that room. Tulpar is starting to show her age. Past inspection, right? Shouldn't be an issue. Plus, they added Daisuke last minute. Didn't account that there'd be 5 of us now. I really should have made a bigger stink about that. Seems like even we get along well. Your attitude is entirely post-crash. You're covered in foam. Huh. Oh, look, you fell through the vents! That is hilarious! And I imagine these are probably cryopods, right? Emergency cryogenic pods. And they have about 20 years of backup power. How long do you think that generator will last? You okay, bud? Well, I can see the issue. The kid was brought on just to make me suffer. I was just trying to fix the vent. How did that trigger the emergency foam? Because you're talented in all the wrong ways. I would have dealt with this, but only you can unlock the axe case. Everything has to go through you. I'll handle it. Hang in there, Daisuke. Alright then. Seems like Swansea is teaching Daisuke the basics. He's got a long way to go. Now we're still doing breadboard electronics, huh? Alright. Do not touch. Based on the scorch marks, it looks like this thing has already been touched quite a bit. We're gonna need our code scanner for that. 2609. This thing is doing a really cool thing where we're kind of like this music, this tone, it's almost like a workplace comedy that descends into a survival horror story. And I mean survival in like the truest sense. It's about the slow degradation. And I have a feeling it's going to get a lot worse. Let's try and get you out. And try and avoid your limbs. This does not seem like the best way to do this. Youch! Strong stuff, huh? Get it through your skull. That vent is strictly off limits. Fully collapsed inside. You looking to get impaled, electrocuted, and cooked? Yeah, but like, you can't fit in there to fix it, right? So now he's old and fat, huh? So I can totally handle it, Captain. Give me the axe. Swansea. This could have damaged the pods. You can't let something like this happen again. Yeah, I got it. Loud and clear. Keep the axe until you've cleaned this all up, yeah? It's okay to be big, boss. My Gramps was super huge. And he lived until like 60. Dude, not now. Just look what he's holding. What are you standing around for? Clean this mess up. If he hands you that axe, do not give it back. Hide it somewhere. I take it on you, diagnosed you with being sane then? You're just off center. But it's what keeps me on my toes. I said I'd do yours. I want to hear all about those cartoon horses. Is that something you were born with, or a recent develop? Alright, shut up. Let's go to the cockpit. And that was this way. Ooh, we can... No, we can't open that door. That brief glimpse we got at the cargo hold shows this place is probably a lot bigger than just the part we live in. was just starting to think this seems longer than before. Maybe we're not all that sane, maybe we just carry ourselves well. We've just got to jump. They're galaxies, stars in the sky. All underneath an ankle-deep alien ocean. They're the cockpit warning lights. And ladders jutting up towards them. My view is being screwed with. It, like, doesn't want to turn around all the way. Evading the warning lights by running straight into the arms of the sun. Foreshadowing our burned fate. Maybe I'm not in the state to give this evaluation. Can't just make something up for this. It's not like these evals ever go anywhere when we get back. We'll power through it. I'm not going to say anything about that. I am presenting perfectly normal to the crew when this is what's going on in our head. That makes it even scarier that this danger was right among them and they had no idea. Have you been able to complete your mandated tasks as co-pilot efficiently and to your fullest capacity? Let's see. I'll just put good for that one. That's all of them. Done and done. How are things otherwise? Off the record. I like it. We're in control here. Didn't think you'd ever take to being a freighter pilot as well as you have. What with how you struggled back on Earth. Sure. All I ever hear is how great of a leader you are. Honestly, it's kind of annoying. So what is it? How come it always seems like you're standing on the edge of a bridge with your feet in cement? Lately I've just been thinking, is this enough? Should I just stay here because I've been successful at it? A good long-haul freighter captain. And that's bad? That's what I'm saying. It's not. But it's terrifying. I think, am I figured out? Is this all I'll ever be? Or do I take the risk and try something new? even if I'm bad at it. I guess I get it. You reach the highest rung on this ladder. Like ladders shooting towards warning lights. So now you're thinking you might be on the wrong ladder altogether. Still a long way down from the top, no matter how you look at it. While I'm still climbing and climbing. Something like that. But, hey, you know I believe in you. Here, on Earth. Doesn't matter. You should write that on the psyche Val. Oh no. The big guys themselves. Guess that's my cue. I'll see you later. So these crew, they really do, I guess, sort of care for each other as colleagues. Things are actually all right now. I mean, they're not, but none of this picture is what I would imagine would lead to where it led. Okay, how do we answer this message? All I got to read was, after all these... Okay, we've got our flashlight in this massive cargo hold. This flashlight that can barely see 10 feet in front of us.
Operating at a steady profit can give its workers security and employee benefits. Operating at a profit, a business can provide the employee with comfortable, colorful working conditions, high wages, and steady employment, first aid and health protection, accident and life insurance, time off for vacation. The employee working for a profitable business can maintain a savings account, own his own home, and have plenty of leisure to enjoy the peace and quiet of family life. When investors receive a business operating at a steady profit can give its workers security.
Cosmic lights spreading and expanding. It's where we do, and the first thing is what we do. Look at the reflections on the floor. Now, after that glitch, I mean, it would seem to be going back to Jimmy entering the cargo, but we don't really know who we're playing as right now.
Here, in fact, is the answer to a dream as old as man himself. A giant of limitless power at man's command. And where was it science found that giant? In the atom, a particle so infinitely small that it takes over 100 billion atoms to make up the head of a pin. Just as other millions and quadrillions of atoms are the tiny building blocks which make up everything in the world. Ships, and shoes, and sealing wax, and cabbages and kings. Although no one has ever here, in fact...
Some of us are destined to be space captains, some of us are destined to be meat. But all of us come from the same things.
Hurry, step right up, folks. Here's the answer to your problems. Dr. Utopia's sensational new discovery, ISM. ISM will cure any ailment of the body politic. It's terrific. It's tremendous. Once you swallow the contents of this bottle, you'll have the bountiful benefit of higher wages, shorter hours, and security. Enormous profits, no strikes. Remember, you're the big boss. Government control, no worry about votes. Name your own salary. Bigger crops, lower cost. Why, ISM even makes the weather perfect every day. Strike!
Not very many channels in space, are there? Except for the one showing a silent reminder of where this is all going. This game has got me in a mood where my first thought wasn't even to make a Darwin joke. A revolutionary new dental hygiene product. Brand new formula designed to kill bacteria and kill germs without leaving a bad taste. Dragon Breath mouthwash. All day, fire fresh. And we're back to the present, 2 months after the crash. This is mouthwash? Unbelievable. There's gotta be an ocean of the stuff in here. It's all mouthwash. Pretty much the one item in the world that could be of no use to us. This room looks freaking endless. This is what they'd have 5 people hauling for over a year. All this. For mouthwash. The sugar content probably offsets any potential as a disinfectant. Disinfectant? What are you... Let me see that. 14% ethanol. Ha. Huh? I suppose we'll smell good at least? That's right, kiddo. You can bet on that. What are you doing? Stop that. Whoo-wee. Ah, shut up. I'm just an old codger taking care of his dental hygiene. You hear that? That's the sound of 15 years of sobriety popping like a cyst. A glorious, magnificent, red-hot cyst. Well, you've got away with words, don't you? Good riddance and cheers. To Captain Curly, hear hear. Guess anyone could get seriously blasted off of this stuff. Yeah, and kill you in the process. This can't be real. There's no way. Now we can go out in style. Daisuke, come here. Anyone ever teach you how to drink like a man? And back to 6 days before. I guess that cargo is only hopeful for the hopeless. Actually, it seems like right now we can read the news from corporate. After all these years. Just like that? Hang on, Can I not read it? I can interact with you. I can't read that. Were we maybe let go? I mean, he had talked about wanting to leave the job potentially. But maybe it's a whole different thing to be forced out. Surprise! Surprise! Look at your face. Gotcha. Cheers. Wow. What's the, occasion? We only get one communal birthday party per trip, right? So we can have it whenever. Only one person can really be surprise birthdayed per trip. We did Swansea last haul, remember? No way. I can't believe I missed that. You were next on the list, so congratulations. Hate to say it though, your duties have to extend to even your own birthday party. You're the only one with clearance to make the cake. The recipe is there by the machine. Hop to it, Captain. Okay. I mean, going through all this, getting to know them in this way, it just makes the events that are coming so soon after all the more tragic. It makes you think of these people and who they are beyond just the events of the game itself, more than just the story at the core of this. Alright, we've got a restricted item here. 2341. That'll get us the sweetener. We need water and gelatin, cake base and sweetener. So that's a water packet. Let's talk to everybody first. Could you sneak an extra packet of sweetener in there? Just kidding. Maybe? Nah, totally kidding. Unless... I think you need to use the code scanner. They're really getting a lot of mileage out of that thing, huh? You know how it is. Pony Express being either cheap or lazy. Usually both, no? You gonna use the Pony Express provided cake recipe? At least make it correctly. You should find the ingredients and recipe in the kitchen. Swansea really likes that cake. Don't tell anyone. Sorry for jumping you. This whole thing is corny. But, you know, it's kind of a tradition now. I dare say I almost look forward to it. Nothing. Yeah, no, I agree. You're not gonna make it out to pasture. Alright, 2341. And that gets us the sweetener. What if we use just a little bit of extra sweetener, huh? We can grant somebody's wish, right? So we got water, sweetener, and now we need gelatin and cake base. So if we go back, 4213. So that's gonna be water and gelatin. And that should be switchable. Giving us cake base, which we can then use with... No, we don't want to take the plain cake. We want sweetener and sweetener. Okay, maybe we're supposed to take that out and put you there? Okay, so we can't actually double it up. Complete. It even plays a little song. How nice. Alright, everybody ready? You gotta make a speech. Can't argue with that. Speech, speech, speech. Go on. Hey, what's wrong? That's all it said on the report from management. We will receive the paycheck for this delivery. I don't know any more than that. Pony Express finally kicking the bucket, huh? It's not us, it's the company. Does that mean that nobody's coming if we get lost? What a joke. And where the punchline? I don't have any savings. They can't just do this, right? Pony Express was one of the last manned crewed freighter companies. The writing's been on the wall for a long time. When did they tell you? Earlier this week. I was instructed to wait until we're closer to the haul destination. But I can't keep something like this from you all. So I guess you got what you wanted. Without the guilt. Jim, if I had known, I can go back to my, how'd you put it? Struggle of a life? Anya never got into medical school because she's, well, let's be real. And how many employment years Swansea got left in him? Daisuke will be fine. Mommy and Daddy have him covered, so there's that at least. But you, headed for bigger and better, right? I'm just working on my life being a place I don't have to escape. That's what I was trying to tell you. Nothing more. We're the ones you're trying to escape. Leave the dirt behind now that your boots are clean. That's not what I meant. It is what you meant. You just couldn't frame it to yourself in a way that kept you as the hero. Abandon the crew, but remain the model captain. Unbelievable. What am I supposed to do? Let's have some cake, Props to the Twilight Cruise the Tulpar. Props to our captain and his new prospects. I really don't feel that any of this is my fault. Like, Jimmy boy, you're really jumping the gun here. Nobody has anything to say. A large kitchen knife. Regulations say I should keep it locked behind the scanner. Oh, I have to control it with WS. Like a saw, I guess. Back to 2 months after. What is that sound? God, I've never had a game simulate just a really uncomfortable moment before. But man, the longer this goes on, I'm starting to see Jim more as biggest jerk on crew. He's still asleep. Let's try and track down that noise. I don't know if he's been given his medicine yet. We could take some painkillers, but that's not what we're gonna do. God, they make him so hateable to start with, but there's so much more context here. Here we are with our endless supply of mouthwash. If anything, that's the real punchline. Swansea hasn't let anyone in the utility since the crash. Says it's filled with foam. Do we know 100% that that's true? No. I understand completely. If that's how it has to be. What's going on here? Oh, it's you. Jimmy. Not able to sleep either? It's nighttime. Why are you talking this late? Anya? Are you crying? No, don't worry. I'm okay. We all need to keep it together. Oh, I'm keeping it together. Don't you worry, Captain. He's making noises again. Did you give him his meds before, Anya? No. Must have slipped my mind. I'm sorry, I'll do it. No, really, I'm perfectly okay. I said I'll do it. You getting a lot of use out of that right now? Force of habit. Don't overthink it. Kinda feels like I should. I wonder if they've even noticed we're missing back at headquarters. It'd take a rescue ship so long to get here. Might be another freighter they could divert to try and find us. It's not inconceivable. I suppose you're right. Not really likely either. So I'm basically everybody's least favorite, and now I'm in charge. Everyone's still trying to maintain cohesion as best as they can, but I'm really probably not the best one for the job. Best one for the job is the wailing ghost that haunts this place now. The doors remaining open frame you up in just such a way, huh? Let's get your meds. Just a handful left. Once these are out, we'll have nothing to keep them quiet. A fate worse than death. Come on, stop with the noise. Ugh. I know what everyone is thinking. The way they look at me. What could I even say? And then, what would she do? Here we are now. Me in the driver's seat. Thanks for that. Open up. I hope these make you feel better. He's subjected to not only the pain, but our rants. And we are not displaying bedside manner and putting it down. You've got to think, like, it's not just a matter of not having the stomach to treat a patient this way, but of someone you knew and were kind of friends with. There's another of our fake crashes. I can only make out the first word when it... It's your birthday dinner. We should have some. Why? It's mediocre at best, obviously. Sometimes you can only get the subpar stuff. That's what makes the really good stuff, well, good, right? Why bother? Hey, we all tried to escape. Didn't work for any of us. I've thought many times, is this what peace feels like? And is it good enough? If I'm being real, it certainly isn't the best. So all I can do is try and make my life one I'm not trying to run from all the time. Sometimes I'll be promoted, buy a house, fall in love. But other times I'll just have some awful cake with my friend. Right now, that sounds pretty brilliant, yeah? So, if you'll do the honors. Right. Well, let me go find a knife. Speaking to the twisted corpse of our friend and mentor. All while those warning lights taunt us. Let's find one. Nothing here. And we can't get to medical to use a scalpel or something. God, it is so dark. And no sounds but the dripping water from the pipes and our own footsteps on the metal. Was there something... Wait. Okay. I thought there was someone encased in the foam for a second. Afraid of mouthwash littering the halls. Is there someone there? No, just a light behind some foam. I thought there was someone leaning against the wall. It's bloodied as if someone took the ship from behind. This feels very accusing. I'm getting out of here, and I am starting to think that there's more to this story than we had at first assumed. Go. It's not a knife, but it'll have to do, right? I guess all we want now is to be rid of you. Huh. Check on the crew. Daisuke? Drinking more of that mouthwash. You really shouldn't be listening to Swansea on this. This is the last thing we need. How many have you had? Those will kill you before anything else. I know. My mom found this internship for me. Such a slacker, she said. I don't know. I just never knew what I wanted to be. Never was good at anything. Total screw-up. We're not done yet, Daisuke. I just hope she doesn't blame herself. Please, just take it. I don't want to look at this stuff anymore. That's right. And please don't touch it again, alright? The feeling of hopelessness is definitely starting to pervade this place. I guess this entire time they had that small hope that they could last as long as they needed off of what's in here, but, well, now that it's open, I guess some of them have already checked out. Just going from bad to worse, from... I imagine they're probably nostalgic for the times when they thought that losing their jobs and struggling with poverty was going to be the worst thing to come out of this. I guess you're still technically the crew. I can't use this here. Seemed ripe for it. We're completely out of meds to give you. And I don't know if I like you taking all this stuff while you've still got that axe in your hands. There's the big man himself, Jimbo! Listen, listen, listen. This is the best part. Away you! You're a mess, Swansea. It'll be all the said, of the tulpar in the sky with diamonds. Captain Jimmy pulling the plug on the party before the last call. Looks like he already hacked apart poor Polly. What was that? Couldn't quite hear you, pal. I guess we're all glad to be rid of it. She's thinking about it. Anya? Oh, you startled me. Sorry. No worries. You thinking about drinking that too? Honestly, yeah. It'd probably just make me feel sick. Wouldn't fix anything. As much as I'd like to. Right. Hey, I was thinking, did you know that not all the medicine aboard was in my office? We store some in a storage locker in the hallway. Why haven't you brought this up earlier? It was foamed up. I didn't think it was possible to reach it. But I've been estimating the position of the foam. I think the medicine depot locker isn't too far into the mass of it. So we could try to break it down. One strike too many on a weak spot. We'll all get sucked into space. I think it's worth the risk. If nothing else, it's an excuse to get Swansea to hand over the axe. Yeah, that is a very good point. Only problem is now we've got to get it from him. Maybe he'll do so in exchange for Daisuke's mouthwash? Not that there's any shortage. Jimbo! El Capitano, the man with the plan. You done? I need that. This old thing? This was entrusted to me by our previous, tragically inclined leader. Big responsibility. But you know all about that, huh? I'm gonna try and get some more painkillers. Do something useful, you know? Oh, I heard all about it. You're looking to pull the plug on this party early. I'm trying to save us. Take matters into your own hands, eh? Be my guest. I was laughing before about how much of a false comfort this screen was. Now, I'm actually going to mourn the loss. Think I already feel the ship rum-a-tumbling through space again. Back to the future. In the visuals, this game is almost starting to take a Signalis-y feel. Well, we've got it. Which means you don't, which is kind of the more important thing. What say you? See the phone by the hallway to medical? You can kind of see the locker in there. Alright. I mean, at a certain point, it does just become better to depressurize the ship, right? Although it looks like we got lucky this time. We've got painkillers and isopropyl. So what do we do with it? She's gone. Oh, there you are. Oh, wow, Jim. You did it. Yeah. It actually wasn't that hard once I figured it out. Amazing, really. Sure. I hate to ask you again, but could you give Curly his painkillers? It still just makes me so nauseous. You're not serious. Look, I've entertained your sentimentality up until now, but I'm trying to actually fix things, Anya. Responsibility, did it say? I'm getting us through this. It's find the code scanner, then figure out the door code, get the axe, chop up the foam, but not too much, and best of all, give Curly his medicine. But I'm bearing it. I have to. Because the captain has to take responsibility on this ship. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Go make sure Daisuke doesn't choke on his own vomit. No, I can... I'll take care of it, Anya. I always do. I am not fit to work under this kind of pressure. I can keep going. I can do the things nobody wants to do. But I don't recognize that I'm an unstable head of this ship. Something this guy never was. Something that I'm starting to maybe think he still isn't. But of course, it's not like he can tell us. Pure alcohol for medical use only. Potentially deadly to ingest. I don't know if there are different endings or what. But I'm gonna continue giving you painkillers. I don't think I understood the pressure you were under before. And you tried to tell me. Our worst moments don't make us monsters, huh? You were a good captain, Curly. And you'll be one again. I'll get us both through this. Six hours until judgment. Until judgment? Jimmy, get out here. But I just locked the door. Hang on. Take the rope. You can't hide. If we scan... My hands won't stop shaking. I don't have the code scanner either. Maybe I can... I can't use this here. Take metal pipe. I'm gonna chop you into 20 pieces. Maybe I can... Can't use this here. Come on. Okay, we've just barricaded the door. Come on. Ah! 2 days before the crash. You doing okay? Yeah. Can't sleep. I know how that is. I just toss and turn. How dark. Or stare at the ceiling all night. I actually kind of like the nighttime window screen. If you can believe it. So I just come look at it sometimes. If you look really, really close, you can see there's a dead pixel in the upper right corner. That's so. I suppose this is the digital equivalent of looking for constellations, or stars that burn just a little bit brighter. Nope, don't see it. In the back of my mind, it's always there. Now I'll go bonkers looking for it. Cheers. I don't think it ruins the illusion, though. It's peaceful. But maybe I'm just used to looking at the bigger picture. How many days of transport do we have left? Let's see. Off the top of my head, around 237 days. Just under 8 months. Hey. Why do you think Pony Express put a lock on the medical room door, but not in the sleeping quarters? I suppose for the same reason they put a lock on the cockpit. Safety. The screen flashing with the #1 priority for each individual. Four months after the crash, it's been an additional 2 months. And this place is looking so much worse for wear. Every little time we take our frustrations out on the environment, well, that stays forever. Jimmy, help! What's up? Jimmy, it's a total emergency. Calm down. What is it? Anya's stuck in medical. The door won't open. What if she runs out of something? Right. Let's go have a look. We don't seem to think it's that urgent. Okay, that door's not opening. Hurry, we gotta hurry. Go, go, go! Hurry with what? We've got the code scanner, some isopropyl, and the mouthwash. Maybe I can find something to help? Maybe the axe? You're following me around. Well, I tried using something. Anya, I brought Jimmy. We're here to rescue you. Don't worry. Don't panic. Yeah. Hey, I heard the lock's broken. Hey, Anya. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, Jimmy. The rest of our medicine stash is in there, too. This could be bad. Do you try to really put your back into it? Any wrenches laying around? How heavy is the med kit? Anya, is the door stuck? No. Huh? What do you mean? Look, we're all stressed. But you can't go breaking down at every little hardship. Open the door. You were right. You were right all along. I should have done this from the beginning. I always believed that our worst moments didn't define us, didn't make us beyond repair. You think I wanted this either? Make no mistake, this isn't my worst moment. Far from it. It's the best one I'll ever make. Open the door. I'll take care of it. Anya, what does that mean? Curly is still in there with her, right? Yeah. You don't think... Daisuke, you and Swansea know the internals of the ship better than anyone. There's absolutely no other way into medical? Well... Swansea said it was strictly off limits. Like, super mega not allowed above all else. The utility room. That busted vent in there loops into medical. But I mean, technically a person could totally fit through it. If that's the only way, we'll make it work. You listening, Anya? Fine. Come on, Daisuke. For all we know, we may have already done it, but she has completely lost hope, and now she realizes that keeping him alive is... well, it serves no purpose, certainly least of all for him. She is doing her job, and honestly, I can't really argue with her logic. Hey man, we need access. Swansea, we need your help. I know you said utility was dangerous, but I'm good right here, fellas. You know I'm not letting you in there. Off limits. Look, if there's any possibility, Jimbo, letting you scratch at that foam wall would be useless. You'd only tear this ship anew. Okay. Nothing to be done about it. Bad luck. Tail missed the donkey. But, Swansea, this could be really bad. Just hear us out. We're God's hand-picked favorites on this here planet, I reckon. Means we get to name it. So let's hear it for Wake Rock. Whatever's going on anywhere else ain't my problem. Since I'm the happiest man Wake Rock has ever seen. Let's just go, Daisuke. There's no point with him. Everyone breaks differently under stress. 8 hours until judgment. Don't do anything. Stop, stop, stop. I can fix this. Why do you keep saying that? Are you hearing yourself? I'm sorry. We still have disinfectant, right? The one from the extra medical stash? Get it, now. The cocktail. The cocktail? What are you blabbering about? That was your fault. You would never have... I had no choice. You. Useless! You idiot! There has to be something else. Find disinfectant. I thought I already had it. God, now I'm not sure if these until judgment things... The first one seemed like it was a dream, but now they just seem more like what happens later. You're badly hurt. Is this after climbing into the vents? Not in here. You won't even let us take a peek into the future. I'm already looking in here. At least try to make yourself useful. Seems like we're the only ones who still are. Anya nowhere to be seen. At least he made it out to the other side. We can still help him. Okay, so it's exactly what we thought. Alright, where do I go to find this stuff? Well, I mean, mouthwash is disinfectant, isn't it? It may be all we've got. Okay, now we're doing dream. Or maybe our worst thoughts of what could happen if we send him in there. Responsibility. It's getting darker and darker the further we go, even with our light. Did it say quit? A blind beast, aimless and restless. You can't run from it. Blind, huh? But maybe silence is our best bet then? The code scanner is the closest thing we've got to a flashlight, but does its noise count? I hear footsteps. What do I do? There's something catching in our beam here. But I cannot understand what. I don't want to move. Okay, we can't go that way. What am I looking at here? This is breaking my brain. I have still yet to even see movement. All I can do is just stop when I hear it moving. Now I think I'm hearing something from my right. It's moving around down there. Shaking the whole place as it goes. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, let's try that again. It's a horse creature. So when you come down, stop moving entirely. Look at you. From the ceiling. Oh my god. After all this time in a sci-fi survival horror story, I was not expecting it to become horror. Especially not with imagery like that. Wait, I think I get it. I do get it. It's red light, green light. We have to go when it's distracted by the noise of whatever's moving down there. And we should be playing it somewhat safe, too. Things are getting more wibbly. I am fighting for every inch of ground here. Just gotta know just when to stop. You know, I can honestly say I'm not a fan of this cartoon horse. The moving of the boxes almost sounds like galloping at times, doesn't it? Just a little too long. What I was seeing was your mane when we were behind you before. I realize that now. I think I just heard yelling from down there. I guess you heard me anyway. It's like, I do hear it. I do hear it those times, but unless it's close enough for me to see it, I don't want to risk it. We're so close now. One more good move. I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching anything. We did it! We got it for you. I'm sorry. I messed up. Don't try to talk. You got in there. And back to 3 months. This jumping around is... It's not hard to put together, but it is very disorienting. Which I suppose makes sense. I mean, imagine what a fever dream this would be. To wake up every morning in the same situation, probably trying to piece together what did and didn't happen, especially if this is what your dreams are like. I think the vent and utility connects to medical. But you heard what he said. Going in there now? It's too unstable. Trying to break the foam could risk the air seal. I just don't want to mess up again, like I did before. You heard Anya. I wouldn't put it past her to do something extreme right now. You and me, Daisuke. We can save Curly, yeah? Swansea won't help, so we'll figure it out ourselves. Right. Alright, yeah. We got this. But even before the foam, how do we even get the door to utility to open? Swansea's been practically camping in front of the door, and he has the key. I have an idea. You're gonna have to trust me. We need to knock him out. You're gonna fight him? No. Even he has to have his limits when it comes to booze. We make him pass out. Simple, safe. He might not even realize we did anything after the fact. There's a recipe for a mocktail in the kitchen. We can follow the steps, but use different ingredients to add kick to it. Come on. Wow, that thing's getting a surprising amount of use in this game. This is basically like a horror cooking mama. Well, let's go. Are you still gonna follow me? Let's see what we need. Mocktail. Probably just drink, right? Howdy. We're out of sweetener. Any ideas? I might have accidentally, at some point, mistakenly misplaced a few packets before. By accident. Right. You could take a look around my stuff. Could be somewhere around there. But also totally somewhere else. Who knows? Anything's possible. The crash sure jumbled everything up. Honestly, I kind of love you for doing it. Down here, perhaps? There we go. Now, as for this recipe, I still don't know what it is. That is a big old pile of mouthwash we've accrued in 1 month. Seems we've already made our own modifications. So we're not just adding mouthwash, we're mixing mouthwash with isopropyl alcohol. Meaning this is potentially fatal. All for the benefit of an basically already dead man, but I mean, we have to try, right? Mouthwash and isopropyl it is. You and you. And now we just mix this with some sweetener, I guess. God, we are poisoning him. God, this thing. Now, this is real black comedy. Taking a horrible situation that is played for absolute seriousness and just having stuff like that happen in the middle of it. That drink looks sick. I can totally picture myself on a beach with a hot babe and a few of those. Then I drink too many and throw them up all over myself and never be able to drink them again. Good times. Let's just get this to Swansea. No wonder we would feel so bad about losing you. You're probably the only thing keeping us sane. Of course, you're not stupid. You're aware of all of this. You know how bad it is, but I guess that's just your personality. And I'm glad for it. You may not be the best engineer yet, but you're certainly a good parrot to sit on the captain's shoulder. You taking to teaching my intern now? I personally try to educate based off years of experience. But that's just me, Captain. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. What is that? Look, we need to keep working together. If this is how I can get us through this without us being at each other's necks all the time, then... Yeah, give it here. We kind of freestyled the recipe. Yeah, I can tell you had a hand in this monstrosity, kid. You ain't no mixologist. Sure as heck ain't no mechanic either. Huh. You never should have come here. Who even decided to let you on board, huh? Stick the idiot with a bunch of sad sack adults and see what he learns, huh? Bootstraps and all that. What a load of crap. You think it's all going somewhere, but every failure leaves you a little more mangled than before. Older, uglier, meaner, smarter in a worse way. Walling doesn't suit you, Swansea. I suppose you think we should all be acting like you, our hard-working, esteemed captain. I say take a load off before the sun finally sets on this party. May we never go to hell, but always be on our way. I fear we might be sending you there now. Well, there's the key. I know you don't feel good about this, but believe me, we're doing this to one to save another. Is he still breathing? He practically bounced off the ground. He'll be fine. His tolerance has got to be through the roof by now. Probably just wake up with a massive headache. Oh man, he's gonna be so mad. I'll never get a good reference now. Least of your problems, buddy. And besides, I'll definitely vouch for you. And yes, it actually looks like he is still breathing. But man, I guess he maybe sees something of himself in you, huh? Feels like he wasted these years. Yeah. Swansea's key to the utility room. A hanging swan from your old chain. Whoa, wait, no. I want to read what that says. What does it say? Alright, well, here you go. Captain, you sure about this? Maybe we can talk with Swansea when he's cleared up a bit later. He's just, like, really into workplace safety and stuff sometimes, you know? Which is, like, totally cool and stuff, I think. He taught me, it's time to be brave, Daisuke. Curly and Anya are counting on us. Wait. He lied to us, didn't he? Whoa. It's like barely foamed up at all. Hey, it's those things. I've never been inside one. What are they called again? Cryostasis pods. Oh yeah, these things are far out. Totally sci-fi. Oh, it looks like this one still works. How long can these things even keep you frozen? 20 years. I can't believe Swansea managed to clear all the foam from here. He didn't. What? Think about it. Swansea never let you work with him on breaking the utility room foam wall, right? No, it needed to be handled delicately. He said I have way too much athletic strength in my arms. I would have just torn right through the foam. I was like, makes total sense. Bummer. So I've been in charge of the kitchen instead. He said it's next level critical to keep stock and organized every day. Had me double, triple, for tuple check everything, like all the time. Right, of course. And he never told you he'd gotten in here? No, but look how busy he must have been. There was never any foam here. And Swansea has known the whole time. Just taking a load off before the sun finally sets on this party, huh? Dude was the only one with no skin in the game. He's been biding his time until he can save himself. Would getting in the pod really mean you'd get rescued? 20 years more of a chance to get found. I'd take those odds over our current situation. Not like this, though. Not by lying through my teeth while waiting for everyone else to die. No, man, that can't be right. I'm sure there's a reason. We'll ask him about it when he wakes up. We'll deal with him after. Right now, we have a job to finish. And the vent looks like it's still in one piece. Whoa, check out those sparks. I hate to imagine how gnarly it looks on the inside. It could be somewhat collapsed in places. You could make it through. We need to try it. Swansea said it's not safe. I know he forgot to tell us about the pod, but he knows like everything about this kind of stuff. Maybe we should just wait for him to wake back up. You said you could handle it. Swansea taught you well, right? Time to prove it. He'll be impressed when he wakes up. Proud. We need this, I know we do, but this is manipulative. He'll understand why we had to do this. Then he can explain himself. You think so? Daisuke? Everyone's counting on you. Captain's orders. Yeah, I got this. Okay, here we go. Is my build really that different that I couldn't do it? That doesn't sound good. Anya? What did you do? One day before. Find the gun. But once more, we don't know who we're playing as. And every time I see this place before, I just keep thinking, he had no idea that this room right here would be his only sight for months. The agony, this would be his hell. Alright. Where would a gun be? In the quarters, maybe? I already checked here. You've gone out of your way to not show us that part of the ship this entire game. Can't get in here and nobody else around. Anya? For Christ's sake, where is it? Us being let go isn't a reason to hurt yourself. Anya. As our nurse, you never got psych evals. I should have thought of that. You could have come to me if you were feeling stressed. What would you have done? Anything. Anything. You, the crew, are all my responsibility. I told you so over and over, yeah? I'm not gonna hurt myself. You know the gun is in a safety case I can't open. But I hid the case itself. Tell me where it is. None of this has to be on our performance log. We'll figure it out together. I'm pregnant. You're what? Who would you... Captain, I told you. Listen to me. We can fix this. I've known him for a long time. I'll talk to him. I know you'd never give me the gun to protect myself. So the least I can do is make sure he never gets it either. That's the situation we're in. Detected abnormal asteroid trajectories along the route. Course corrections might be required during transit. God, we went from thinking that you were this crazed lunatic who doomed us all. God, I feel bad about that. But now we know there is a gun somewhere on board. 6 hours until judgment. The bleeding won't stop. Just try to stay still, Daisuke. I need a second to think. We can fix this. Hey, kid, you hear me? Daisuke? Hey, stop. Don't move. It's alright, Daisuke. Calm down. This line of work, you could never become like miserable old Swansea. What a tragedy. Decades of hauling for Pony Express, big mighty bruiser with all his shiny tools. This is where it got me. The good life, huh? I thought you were dumber than a can of paint, always just chewing my ear off about nothing. Useless ray of sunshine. Not an ace student, career workhorse, or force of ambition. Just a good kid trying his best. You could have taught an old fool like me a lot. Close your eyes, Daisuke. You monster. We were right here. We were right here. I could have fixed him, Swansea. I have to do everything myself. Why can't any of you just give me some time to think? How do you still not understand? It's over. End of the line. You won't suffer one more second because of your delusions. Unbelievable. Stop pretending. I know all about your plan, Swansea. I went to utility. I saw what you've been hiding down there. Sneaking around with that axe, telling Anya who knows what. Now this? You're making sure you're the one who gets inside that cryopod. Ha! I sure did talk to Anya. But it was her telling me all sorts of things instead, wasn't it? Shouldn't the captain go down with his ship? Not that it matters anymore. I ain't got no place to be. I got everything I could ever want right here on this ship. So go ahead and get in that pod. If you ever get found, you can tell them whatever story you like. You've earned it. And now it's us who wants the gun. Christ. There's no going back from here. It gave us a time frame of 6 months. We're gonna make it about half. And only one after finding that friggin' mouthwash. Anya went to the cockpit, that's where we found her. But that doesn't mean much. We can access here now. She took the rest herself. And the gun was under the case. Wait. You're still alive. But we need the code. So, how would we find that then? Maybe something on you? That's it. We have reached the point where we're spiraling. I can't look at his blood anymore. Code in the utility locker. That's what we were seeing before. And we can't even preemptively barricade the door, but I know what this is. $739. 739. We're going to be the only one left if we use it on him. Or I guess as a loyalty test we could also load up Curly. Even for whoever gets that pod, there's no guarantee. Man, it never even crossed our minds to try and cut out the other pods. Would trying to get through really lead to a structural failure? Okay. 7, 3, 9. Pony Express personal protection weapon. Issued to captains in case of unrest amongst the crew. Not yet. Well, he's not resting. Oh, look at this. The worst part about this is that, like, look, all of the characters in this have flaws, but not a single one of them deserved it. Jimmy? Oh my god! This is right before. I told him, Anya, you should have waited for me. What did he say? Nothing that makes any difference. Did he seem angry? Where did he go? He just walked away. Curly, I don't want him in here anymore. Hold on, Christ. Just wait, I need to find him. Everything's gonna be okay. We were the real antagonist all along, that's what I'm thinking. I know exactly where this is going. Oh my god. I had suspected it, but we finally arrived. And you know what? Having suspected it doesn't make it any less impactful. Jim, I can fix this. What do you think will happen when we get back? We can figure all of this out. You and me. All I ever hear is how great of a leader you are. God, it's so annoying. But now, what do you think will happen now when we get back? We'll fix this together. Everything you and I worked for in our lives, accomplishments, changes, none of it will matter. You've gotten through difficult situations before. This time won't be any different. Work through it, one day at a time. Well, I guess we did impart something on you. It's not just me, is it? You were supposed to be the one who had everything under control. You said so yourself. The ship, this crew, everything that happened here. This was your responsibility, Captain. That is what you'll be hearing the rest of your life. Or, this can all be remembered as a tragedy. Despite what must have been the best efforts of its acclaimed captain, the Tulpar crew was never found. No one survived to tell the tale. This is the first look at ourselves, the person who we were. You're standing at the top, feet in cement. I get it now. Right? Right. I'll take care of it. Jim, tell me you didn't. I didn't... What did you do? One hour before judgment, you had to... In your state, you had to watch us become the new captain after you had seen what we did, knowing that they don't know that I was responsible for all of this, and all of them thinking that you were. That is a whole other level to your nightmare. I guess we've decided that you're the one who should make it. We instantly regretted our decision. Hang on, wait, are we not taking you to the cryopod? I had thought that after all this, we decided that you should be the sole survivor. Maybe even some form of misinterpreting what we had just told you. About thinking you could make us all go out on a high note. The only exception would be that I hope this hurts. Oh my God. Woohoo! Happy birthday, Captain! God, your corpse is all over. We shot you when you crashed through the cockpit window. That's what happened, right? This rocks. Hear, hear. As he downs more of that mouthwash. Come on. You have to give a speech. Go on, have at it. You better make it good. Hell yeah. Our captain. Captain Jimmy. Oh my God, that sound is like how this must feel. Let's make it quick. Let's make it quick. Oh my god, look at that split. A lot of people struggle to put food on their plates, but that wasn't enough, right, Captain? The lowest rung of your ladder is our highest, until it was all swept from under your feet. Life isn't even worth living at the same level as us. But I forgive you. All of us do. I won't give up on you. Even like this, I believe in you. We're going to make it through this. Sometimes we thrive, travel the endless reaches of space. But other times we just have to accept days like these. You taught me that, girlie. Let's eat. Let's survive. Take responsibility. Just what it always said, it was right there in front of us all along. Where are my keys? Now that's black comedy. I suppose this vent has represented responsibility all along. The necessary way forward, the dangerous, the risky thing. And ultimately, for all of our talk of always being the one to do everything, something that we should have done ourselves. A mini cryopod door? And some game pieces from that board game on the table. You are really screwing with my sense of scale right now. We don't have our code scanner. No turning back now. No matter how many times we tried, trying to keep everyone alive, trying to keep things from falling apart, by that point we had made our decision. But if we allow it to get close, no good. We may not be able to turn back, but maybe we can walk back? That may actually be the answer. But there's only so far back we can go. Now we're just trapped. Huh. We've just got to keep doing it this way. Oh my god, this is cool. Alright, I'll save my gushing until after this is done. We can't stop and look. We can't stop and look at his stuff. There is no turning back. It's all in the past. Responsibility. And There's something back there. I guess survival means moving ever further away from responsibility. That horrible caged thing behind the yellow tape. It's at this point that I do not expect an agreeable resolution. As we were falling towards that hole in the ground, it looked a whole lot like the judging eye that stared at us from the screen. That vent may as well have been a mouth that swallowed him up. Oh, axes embedded in the walls. After all this time, while looking at the same few things over and over again, they must come to take on new meaning in your mind, huh? We've just got to keep moving. At this point, the only way out is through. Is this how we take responsibility? I can still feel it ringing in my ears. It may be dark and dreary, but this is the first piece of new imagery we've really had. Fog moving over a graveyard, somehow this feels more alive than anything we've seen thus far. But we've still got our gun. There's something in here with us! Take care of it. Take care of what? You're still going to come after us? Is it because we didn't shoot you a moment ago? Okay, you're gonna make this hard. So can we. First round's not chambered. Nope, it's just not gonna fire. It's It's not that kind of encounter. You'll always avoid our gaze. We can scare you off. Question is, where are we going? I know you're out there. And you're still out there. That's a bell. Do I need to ring that bell more times? Oh my god, come on. It needs to be a headshot each time, doesn't it? There's one. Our best bet would probably be to pick an open space and wait for you to come at us, right? Seems like camping would be the optimal strategy here, but it doesn't really seem to work well. I have something to say. So shut up and listen. I spent 13 years half cut up to my eyeballs. Drunk, to put it mildly. Then, suddenly, I saw it. A streetlight shining in my face. 500 gigawatts of power of God. A vision of my bloated body found in some ditch. Scared me straight. So I got a collar shirt, mortgage, and a credit card. All the things that make a good man. I hoped I could raise my children to be better than their old man. I wanted to believe I was never one setback away from my worst self. But the truth is, discipline, drive, routine, the endless desperation to get stuff done, a loving wife, great kids, sobriety. I'm telling you. Accomplishments I've been chasing all my life. Never felt as good as I expected when I crossed the finish line. So now that we're at the end, take an inventory. Those nights spinning out of my head, sinking into the sofa, broken glass in my palms, bleeding dry, the funniest thing ever. Old dogs laughing and snarling on a waterbed floor, mocking the moon for daring to show its face. All nausea and wreckage and vomit and ugly cruelty. The only problem in the world, an empty bottle. Those were the best days of my life. Yeah, those were the best days of my life. I got nothing to hide. Ready to face the music. I can see myself for what I am. But you? A cowardly, selfish person. And you can't even see it. I should have been able to protect the kid. If I could have done one thing right, I wish it had been to give him one small chance off this rock. Swansea, I'm going to fix everything. We're going to make it. No matter how much we try to avoid it, that's just who we are. We still can't admit that this is all on us. that all this was avoidable, but we did this. And really, it kind of goes with what he was saying, huh? How no matter how bad we thought it was, we made it so much worse in trying to make a big show of fixing it. And we have still not entered reality. And this is how it was for us, huh? Not only the responsibility of leadership grating on us, but on the eyes, the accusing eyes. All of our crew probably suspecting what we did, or at least by our belief. That doesn't even need to be... Actually, that doesn't even need to be the case. We just see their disapproving stares, their glances when we're trying to do something. We knew that we weren't the right one for this job. We knew that we never were. And all this time we spent trying to take responsibility. We were role-playing a responsible person. We're crawling out of his mouth. That breathing, noisy mouth that tormented us for months. God. Oh no, it's a puzzle. And putting it together is not going to be the least bit pleasant for you. I'm not quite sure how I'm meant to do this. They only go one way back and forth.
'Tis old Mother Goose's birthday. We're giving her a party. A party, a party, a party for Mother Goose.
The baker man, he served the cake. It was a sight to see.
Take curly leg or leave. Feast. To show you this. Wait, we can get closer. I spent so much time trying to mess with that. Was I just pointlessly torturing you? Curly leg. Someday he'll thank me. Oh, I see. Well, it looks like I had it right. Help me. I'm controlling this. I want to go home. We are home. Why don't you finish what you started? Don't worry. If anyone ever finds us, I'll still be playing the villain. You'll be the better man in the end. Like you wanted. You know, there's a couple of ways to read that last conversation we had before the crash, but maybe it is us taking petty vengeance. Us destroying this ship and making it so the black box will just say, "You killed us all." Taking Mr. Perfect Captain and ensuring that he goes down as a nutjob, all of us as victims, rather than everyone going home poor and him still being the hero. I could have stopped it. I'm taking responsibility. From me. No. We can both be heroes. We're a team. Just you and me, like we used to be. What happened was an accident. We were trapped. I made a mistake, alright? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Curly. You still don't get it. You still can't cast yourself as the villain in this story. Oh. You can see inside this growth. So we've got to find something then, huh? There we are. Oh, a tiny horse we found. Is there another one in here somewhere? It's starting to open up. Oh yeah, the sixth victim. I had forgotten. No. Oh my! All clean. Really gets rid of that bad taste in your mouth, huh? Through wreckage. Through silence. Wash it away. All day, fire fresh. I think I'm starting to see the significance of the mouthwash, at least in some way. Kills the bad taste. Not what caused it. Oh my god. You know, I'm really not ready for it when you wait 3 hours to have jump scares. Oh my god. Okay, it's chase. Or is it? I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going. There it is. No! I shouldn't be in one lane for too long. Yeah. Cross back over. Nope! Nope! It's our IDs. Never mind, now I get it. This whole time, just like our friend on the table, we've been presented with a way to dull our reality instead of facing it. Hey, boss. Alright, I don't have to read these. Pony Express is dead. And so are you.
Polly says,
Shut up. Curly tried his best. I did too, but he's the better man. I see that now. We can both still make it. I'll take care of him. I'm taking responsibility. Curly. Captain. I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes, I do. I screwed up. but I can still make this right. Our worst moments don't make us... What more is there even to do? God, we can only see your burnt, tortured face as we pass between the scant lights in the hallway. And the worst part is, this may not even be what you want. It's okay, Curly. You're gonna be okay. You always had my back. I ended up hurting you even though I was trying to save us. But now you'll survive. It's like you said. Together, we can fix anything. I'm just proud I got to be your friend and co-pilot. Captain. No one can hurt you now. We fixed it. I fixed it. And I must scream. thank you for playing. Well, thank you for making. So that was Mouthwashing, and well, what else can I say? That was an absolute masterpiece of interactive storytelling. On its surface, of course, it's a sci-fi survival story, or rather, a drama about the breakdown of the people placed into the situation and their role in it. Of course, responsibility as a critical theme in, well, our desire for fortune and glory, and how we were willing to kind of try and assume that. There's the feelings of Curly in his responsibility of keeping the crew safe and happy. He was the ideal we were striving to be, even while we were willing to let everyone think that he was the one who put us in that situation. Everyone else feeling like they weren't doing enough, or like it wasn't their job to do anything because their job had ended. I suppose there's also themes at play asking the question what responsibility actually means. I mean, we were someone who wanted that responsibility, who basically wanted to be this corpse on the table here, or rather what he represented in our mind, but we didn't understand what that meant. And that is so apparent in their leadership styles. Because, sure, things seemed to not be going great, the company going under, all of us losing our jobs, but in his leadership, he was trying to make sure that everyone was okay. With us, we believed that we could take control, that that's what a leader does, that he gets us through it and makes the hard decisions to do so. And in doing so, he basically got everyone killed in very, very short order. Because he didn't consider their needs, he didn't consider who they were, he thought he could just give those orders or do everything himself, kind of treating them as expendable pawns, or alternately, as just totally useless and doing things by himself his way, regardless of what anyone else wanted, and as a result, nobody felt safe, and that's why the cabin fever really set in. All this mistrust and paranoia, that was on us. It's just so complex because I guess you could make the argument that none of this would have happened if it weren't for Curly's leadership style of wanting to be straight and honest with everyone. And had he not mentioned that, we would have completed our thing and Jimmy would have gotten arrested where we were going, and that was that. Of course, maybe it would have just happened later, since he very clearly knows that he has nothing to go back to even without the loss of the job. But then there's still the instant regret. He wants to take control and bring everything back. He's obsessed with bringing everything back, even after he had made the decision to kill himself and everyone else. I don't think I can... I think it's wrong of me to expect everything that he does to make perfect sense. And in screenwriting, a lot of the time, things have to make perfect sense, but characters can contradict themselves. They can be inconsistent in their own logic. Everyone really is in this. You know, something actually just clicked for me. That's kind of the reason why the ending, from Jimmy's perspective and from ours, has such a disparate tone. See, okay, the whole game is about taking responsibility, right? That's what's at the back of his mind for the entire time, but responsibility means different things to Curly and to Jimmy, and most likely to the player. We believe that taking responsibility means acknowledging our role in the downfall of all of this, but Jimmy never does that. He goes out completely self-satisfied because he acknowledges that Curly was the better man and captain. To him, it was never about taking responsibility for what he's done to them. He doesn't care, ultimately. What he cares about, the race he was in, was the race to be better than Curly, not to do right by these people. Anya said she didn't believe that we're defined by our worst moment. And maybe that could have been true even after what we did to the person who should have been in charge. It may have still been salvageable in some way. It presented these rays of hope in certain circumstances, for as bad as this was. But what ended up making it unsalvageable was losing cohesion. And so for the entire game, everyone was just kind of off in different corners doing their own thing. Each one living their own horror story, and none worse than the one caused by trying to stop us. Arguably by not coming down hard enough the one time you needed to. There's so many different directions you could look at this from, and it's all presented so stylistically and horrifyingly, not flinching away from doing just the right thing to make sure that each of this has the maximum impact possible. I mean, the whole time, I just kept thinking, man, I am so glad I am not in this situation right now. But let me know what you think. I haven't played any of the other games by this developer, but apparently they have quite a reputation for doing stuff like this, and, well, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, or about this game, well, let me know in the comments, or at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.